Just gotta make sure it's going on.
All right. Call this meeting to order. Thank you all for being here, including our guests and those who are joining us online. Before we get started with anything, I wanted to go ahead and go through the adoption of the agenda. I will say that we are going to add one report from a standing committee, which will be Jana Lane giving a report for the CEO search committee, which we'll do right after we do the report for governance strategy and organization committee. So if we can make that adjustment. Anyone else have any other adjustments or additions to the agenda as printed? All right, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
All right, second?
I second.
All right, all in favor? All right, any opposed? All right, agenda is adopted. So, oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay.
All right, it's part of my welcome. So again, welcome to our annual meeting. As you may recall, last year was actually my first time ever leading a meeting for the board. I was serving as the vice chair at that time. It was probably one of our longest meetings, as you might recall, about a year ago. I don't think this one is gonna be quite as long, but we'll see. But again, just wanna welcome everyone. We specifically have some special guests that I would like to call out. I'm gonna need a little help on some of the names here. But first, I want to definitely recognize our Library Associate Training Institute students. We have Noel Chow is here with us. We have Apurva Ajay, and we have Carrie Shea. Welcome. We've got Steve Mangum, who will give us a preview later of Summer at Your Library, as well as Carol Kaysen, the Western Regional Manager. We also have some of our soon-to-be elected trustees. Betsy Bender is here, as well as EJ Anyat.
Yep.
I will get this right. Anyat. So welcome, EJ. Is the soon-to-be student trustee member here? I didn't hear. Okay, all right. And I'm gonna need some other.
We also have another soon-to-be elected trustee, Jason, and Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't have your last.
It's Vaughn.
Jason Vaughn.
Okay.
And we have two other staff members here, Chris Kim from Mountain Road Library and Laura Kellman from Severn Park Library.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Well, thank you all so much. And I do want to then turn over the program to Maureen Demnaski, who is the assistant branch manager here at Severn, and she'll give us some welcome remarks from the branch.
Thank you
Maureen.
so much. Welcome, first of all, to Severn. We love our library here. We are considered kind of a small library, but we do a lot. And we're very bustling. We're not very bustling right this second, but most of the time we are. I wanted to see if anybody noticed the smiley face balloon when they came in. Did you see that? It was by the front door. So I will tell you about that. The other day, a customer came in and gave it to us, and she said, "You all always make me smile,
Oh.
so I'm giving this to you." So it's been up all week. That's just the kind of experiences we have with most of our customers. I am speaking on behalf of Ellie Mullen, our branch manager, who is not here today, but very happy. I see lots of familiar faces, internal and external. I wanted to share some things that are going on at Severn right now. We just got 8 new study carols that line that wall over there. They are full every day, all day. People study in them, people work in them. And then along the back wall, we got a new laptop bar. We have many customers who come here to study all day or to work all day, and those have just come in so handy. Other things that we have going on here, we just got a social worker, and we are thrilled with that. She comes on Tuesdays. We're very happy to have her. It's a great addition for our community and our customers. Other things we have going on here, we're the home of TWIC, Twig, we call it the library's smallest branch. That's our mobile library vehicle, which I oversee and have a great time going out into the community. We go out 2 times a week. Sometimes we go out 3 times on Saturdays. Today, 2 of my staff just got back from an outreach at a mobile home park, and they talked to 29 people, and they gave away books, they gave away COVID tests. It was a great experience. We also have a very strong relationship with all of our community neighboring schools, as well as military families at Fort Meade. The Severn Center is a strong partner of ours. We've been partnering lately with the Anne Arundel County Mobile Food Pantry. They came here in the winter, did a pantry in our back parking lot. They're coming here again in June, July, and August. Got great turnout for that. We are very busy. I don't know if I've already said that. We're very busy. We offer a variety of programs. From this morning, I did toddler time. After that, I did cardio drumming, which Skip has attended before as a participant. We have recently started doing friend speed dating. That's a very popular program here. We do nature walks around the perimeter of the shopping center. I mean, we do nature journaling, we do STEM programs, we do everything. So this is a small library, but we have a ton going on. Thank you for letting me talk about it. I think that was all I wanted to say. You're very welcome. If you need anything, please let us know. But
Do you want to mention your big birthday coming up?
yes, our 40th birthday is coming up.
Oh, yay.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, and we're gonna do some birthday festivities around that, so.
I think that's in October, is that right?
Yes, in October, we're very excited about that. And does anyone know that Severn has a ghost? Kathy knows probably, because Kathy used to work here. Yeah, we have a ghost, his name is Fred.
Oh.
I can't say anymore. But we are doing like a ghost hunting program in the fall too. So thank you for letting me speak. I'll let you get on with your meeting, but you're very welcome at Severn. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so moving on in our agenda, we've got the approval of the minutes. Does anyone have any corrections to the minutes from March 19th? All right, hearing none, the minutes are approved as, I'm sorry, hearing none, I guess we, sorry. All right, so if there's no objections, the minutes are approved as printed. All right, I don't believe we have anyone here for public comment, but I at least wanted to put that out there. All right. Moving on, we've got the consent agenda. We've got 4 items that have been added to the consent agenda for consideration. Does anyone want to remove any of those items from the consent agenda to discuss in this meeting? Oh, sorry. Oh, sir.
Did somebody have any? Okay, well, I just wanted to mention, previously when this first was published, we had bylaws revisions, but we decided not to bring those forward, and there'll be further discussion of that in the fall.
I did want to just acknowledge, are you, I cannot pronounce that.
Hi. Sorry, late. I need to
No,
get to
no,
school.
no, you were perfectly fine. I just wanted to be able to welcome you and acknowledge you here in the group.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our soon-to-be student member, so make sure that she's recognized. All right, so again, with the consent agenda, also, since we've decided that, there's nobody who wanted to discuss anything on the consent agenda, I move that all items on the consent agenda be approved. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, so the consent agenda is approved as moved here. All right, so we can go on to our reports from officers and liaisons. So I'll go ahead and begin this. I have enjoyed this first term as chair. It really has been the honor of my life to be able to serve as a trustee at all, but certainly even a greater honor to serve as the chair of this fabulous board. We've had a year that I think a lot of us probably didn't anticipate. I could tell you myself, as a first term chair, I never would have expected that Skip would have announced his retirement. Didn't have the Alma bingo card, but I think that as a board, we really have, I really have to just say thank you to each and every board member for the support, and certainly to those who are serving on the CEO search committee. I mean, you really have stepped up in many, many ways, and we're all gonna be asked to do a lot, and have already been asked to do a lot over these last few months, and certainly over the next few months, as we work as a group to select the new CEO for the library. But I thank you certainly for your support throughout this first term for me as chair, and then certainly the work that we'll all be doing in finding the next CEO for the library. And I just again want to, I know I've said this before, but I want to just say it again, just recognize Skip for his tremendous leadership in the library. And so definitely wanted to just acknowledge that here in our annual meeting. Just some of the highlights that I have thought of, aside from obviously the retirement announcement for Skip, some other things that have been notable this year. We were able to say that in the calendar year 2025, we had 100% giving for the trustees, which is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you all for your generosity. We were also able to raise between the trustee board and the foundation board together at our board mixer back in March. We were able to raise more than $650 toward the Library Giving Week campaign. And so ahead of that campaign, we were able to raise that much money. And I really do appreciate all of your support, not only financially to the library, but all the ways that you give in terms of your time, not only serving here as a board, as a body, but then also the other volunteer work that you're able to do throughout the year to support the library, to support the Library Foundation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You all really deserve a lot of credit for the things that you have done over the course of your service on the library. This is a bittersweet moment where I have to announce and recognize that we have a few members who will no longer be serving on the board as of this meeting. First, I'd like to recognize Abby Chan. And she's been a tremendous student representative on the trustee board. Obviously, you're not the first student trustee, but certainly you have made your mark in this role, I will say that. It has been an absolute joy to get to know you and to just see your passion for the library. And so we want to recognize certainly your service on this board, but as those of you who recall, she now is going to be serving as the student member on the foundation, the Library Foundation board. So we will still continue to see and interact with Abby and in all the different things that are going on with the library. And again, I know that you being the first to serve in that role will do an outstanding job. And quite frankly, the entire foundation board is so very excited to have you. And we are just overjoyed that you're able to continue your library service. So with that said, we've got a library card, a golden library card here.
No.
An actual library card, that she can, I'm
And it also comes with one to use and one to put on your wall.
If you wanted to say a few words, it's up to you, but that's.
Thank you very much. I think I've grown so much in this position, and I'm very glad that I get to continue working with everybody.
Thank you so much. And so big one, Simona Simmons. also transitioning onto the board. And Simona has been an absolute force on this board. Such a great friend to the library, such a massive supporter and advocate of the library, and you will be sorely missed on this board. I know that we're gonna continue to see you at library activities and events, but we won't see you as a member of the board at our regular meetings, and so I think I speak for the entire board in just saying we're gonna miss you, and we have certainly valued your, all of your tremendous service to the board over the last several years. And so, again, we've got, do you wanna help with this? Again, your phone. And if you can imagine, you all, Simona actually was part of the search process that actually resulted in Skip being hired as the CEO. So that's how long she's been on the board in terms of her service. And so, really, hats off to you. This is a big one for us in terms of the transition. So again, if you'd like to say a couple words, that's
I
quite
just
up to
want to
you.
say, even though I'm older, I too learned a lot. Thank you very much. And I won't miss you, but you'll see me here and there.
Yes, sure, I'm sure. All right, so just one other announcement from me before I turn it over to Dylan for the update on the, is Dylan actually?
No,
He's not on, so I'll do that announcement, but I wanted to just make sure, this will be mentioned, I'm sure, a couple other times during this meeting. We all have these documents here that just speak about for the love of the library. So if anyone is interested in, becoming a partner in being able to support that particular fundraiser directly, this is the way to get started. Certainly if you know anyone in your networks, please make sure to just note this, and I won't steal anybody's thunder in terms of saying how far we've gotten in terms of getting some partners already secured, but certainly, if you want to add to that, definitely this is an opportunity to be able to, again, just support the library financially, and certainly, whether you become a partner or not, certainly everybody hopefully will already have their calendars marked for September 18th, Friday, from 6 to 9 at the Bush and Athletes Library. So, with that, I'll open it up to anyone who has an update related to the Adopt a Library program, anyone who's recently visited their library branch and has anything to report out. So I'll go ahead and turn the floor over.
I have one thing to report, which is
Awesome.
that at Odenton, there is a problem of stapler theft. I went to get a stapler because my teenage son came in the evening at the last second needing 70 pages printed for a project,
Wow.
needed staplers, and they said it's been a problem, so I would like to recommend a task force to get to the bottom of this scourge of stapler theft. So. But they were very nice and really helped us with a last minute printing project, which was great.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Have we noticed a corresponding uptick in staple activity?
Oh, no, right.
County?
Right, it's just,
We need to go to every library.
apparently. Well, thank you, Tim.
I know that several people went to their branches during Love Your Library
That's what I was
to help
gonna
raise money.
Yeah.
And it was very sweet to have people come up, and one lady said, I don't have any money on me, but I'll go to the car and I'll come back.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So it was really sweet. People really obviously love the library.
Right.
For sure. Thank you.
I had a similar experience at Eastport, and the lady was digging in her purse trying to find a bill to put in the jar.
Yeah.
And like you said, everybody loves the library. The staff was nice. They came out, invited me to their little party.
Oh,
They
nice.
sure had cake.
Oh,
So I may make one more visit. See what kind of cake they had.
No, that's awesome.
But I enjoyed it.
Someone could volunteer. Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, we would welcome that.
Thank you.
Love that. Anyone else in the other reports? Yeah.
I did visit the Odenton Library on Monday. I attended some programming for K-pop craft night, which was a lot of fun. And I wore my badge because I was like, oh, I should, and all the little tweens thought I was a facilitator and kept asking me to help with their crafts, which I was happy to do. But it was a lot of fun. It was very nice to see all the engagement, especially, for the BTS concert that's coming up. So there's a lot of BTS fans there. And yeah, so it was fun to have that fandom there.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's fun. Awesome. Anybody else?
I did finally get a chance to try Crofton's new privacy pods, and they're amazing. It's really nice and comfortable in there. They also have air conditioning, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And I was able to record a little, video for my project at school. So yeah, it's great.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right, anybody else? Awesome. Thank you all for doing that. I appreciate that we've kind of incorporated that as a regular part of the meetings. All right, so with all of that, I'm going to turn it over to Tim for the treasurer's report.
Sure, so we are very, very close to the final finish line in the budget process. So I want to thank Skip and Lonnie and Cedric for testifying for the county council. I guess it was last week in support of everything we're trying to get approved. And based on what the county executive has presented to the county council, we were making out pretty well. We had asked, of course, for the 3% cost of living adjustment and 3% merit increase as negotiated with the union employees, and that is included. So that's great. We were also hoping to get the same amount for our non-representative employees. We only got 2.25% COLA adjustment for those employees, which is like a gap of about 30,000, which we can cover as a library center. So that's good. And Skip and company testified in favor of the money for renovations for Brooklyn Park, the New Glen Burnie Library, a number of other capital projects, and advocated hard for the maintenance mechanic position, which we've been asking for a very long time. So hopefully that's one thing that maybe the county council will sign off on as well. In terms of our budget, we are on track for April. We anticipated receiving and expending about 83% of our budgeted revenues and expenditures. We've received 84% and have spent 81%. So we are on track. There is a variance in the facilities and building maintenance line item because we got hammered by the snowstorm, so we went over budget on that. That's something we hope will be remedied with a request of fourth quarter funding, and that bill was introduced to the county council on the 18th, so we'll see how that goes. But overall, looking good, and I think that about covers. Oh, we did get money for the funding for the chief executive search committee as well, or firm as well. So
Thank goodness.
yeah, since they're already working.
Awesome, thank you, Tim. Any questions? Moving on to the liaison to the foundation board. That report.
Yes, okay, so the foundation has met a couple times since I think we last did one of these and approved the fiscal year 27 foundation library grants allocating $750,000 to the library for program services and equipment. They also approved $195,000 in big ideas. So for those who don't know, those are one-time projects over $5,000 that support branches throughout the county. And this is the largest grant allocation the foundation has given to the library. So as always, very grateful, excellent work that they're doing. They also approved the new roster of officers and appointments. There will, of course, be some familiar names on this list. So Jane Campbell-Chambliss as president, Katie Cook as vice president, Diane Rinaldo as secretary, Tim Williams as treasurer, Ann Hamill as the director at large, and Tessie Ballard as director at large. And some of those folks were reappointed along with Stephen Holt, Chris Mislanka, and then some new board members, Jennifer Bergman, Louise DeJesu, Chris Wukich, and Abby Chan, present company. And speaking of Abby Chan, we should acknowledge and thank you. She organized a peer fundraiser as part of the Library Giving Week that raised $750. And the foundation report also notes some very special dedications. The Doug and Karen Smith Family Children's Area at the Bush Annapolis Library and the Barry and Ann McGowan Community Room at the Edgewater Library. I'd encourage you to read that section of the report, especially if you're unfamiliar with the Smith and McGowan families. And then Skip, did you want to say anything about that? Kathleen suggested you might.
Well, yeah, so let's see, I couldn't be at the dedication of the Karen and Doug Smith room at the, I guess it's in the Discovery Dock area at Bush Annapolis, but of course Karen was president of the foundation and they've been great supporters, so that was wonderful. I did know Barry McGowan and Ann McGowan really well. So Simona, I think he was on the board when you started.
Right.
Some years back.
And for
And you knew. So he got off. He was part of the search committee that hired me also, and got off the board in 2015, around the time that the board changed the way it was nominating people from the county. People from the county had never been doing any of the nominations, but so he got off at that time. He had a career teaching at the community college. He wrote the book on the history of the library system. It was published in 1987. So if you haven't read that, you can go online and just type in McGowan as a name, and you can put that book on reserve and get it and read it. Or we have copies that we can loan you. If you want to read it and you haven't, just let me know or let Donna know. We'll get that to you. They were very generous over many years. I think attended every local library event, gave multiple donations over the years, not ever even thinking about getting a naming opportunity. And Barry died about 2 years ago, and then Ann died about 6 months ago. I was in conversation with Ann prior to her passing about the idea of naming the room. So she knew that we were looking to do that. It just, she was getting very ill, and so we couldn't do it then, so we did it last week or whenever that was. It was really a nice event. Their nephew, Marty McGowan, and their grandnephew, Martin McGowan, along with other family and friends were all there. There were a lot of people from the Naval Academy, including the former superintendent, Ted Carter, who had been playing hockey at the Naval Academy with Marty McGowan in the early 80s. There was just all this connection that happened. Really nice event. It's just great to go there. It's also set up so that when you walk down that hallway, you see their names on the plaque right on the door, in addition to it being in the room. So, yeah.
And I don't know if you wanted to say anything about the process of a naming, I mean, in terms of the amount of giving or what is associated with that.
The county, so we have to get permission from the county to do a naming, and it's all built into the lease agreement that we have. When we started trying to get naming opportunities as part of the Beyond Your Expectations campaign back when we were moving toward opening the new Bush Annapolis Library, that was the first time we really had an actual lease in place, allowing us to lease the county-owned buildings. The naming part just states that we can name a space for revenue. So essentially, it's a certain amount of revenue that would allow, say, a shelf of books to be named, or a range of books, or a room in the library, or a whole library. And so Kathleen manages that whole process, and she and her team work with donors. I believe we may have another naming coming up soon due to kind of unexpected donation that came in. But I think I was going to mention during my report, but let me just mention now, when you were talking about this astounding amount of money being provided to the library, nearly $1 million is being provided to the library. When I first got here, the foundation had 2 employees. We were not raising even $100,000 in any given year, probably not even $50,000 that first year I was here. So what has happened over the 15 years is just incredible. Under Kathleen's leadership, it's just gone gangbusters, and we really are benefiting tremendously. To have $500,000 to $1 million being provided to the library to supplement all the county funding, it's just an amazing thing for us. And the other thing about our funding is that we don't just provide it to the wealthiest parts of the county. In other words, if people give gifts, they're for the most part giving them to be used in the areas of greatest need, which allows us to, over the years, for example, we've done a lot of great things up at Brooklyn Park with foundation dollars. They would not have a base of donors that would have provided the kind of funding. So it's just really great how this is all working.
I just have two more little things. So you'll also find recaps in the report of a few successful fundraising endeavors, not only Giving Week, but also a wine club for book lovers or a book club for wine lovers, whatever. A great prize. And then the main thing I draw your attention to, which we already drew our attention to, is For the Love of the Library. So I think tickets are going on sale in July.
July 6th.
Okay, but then sponsorships are available now, so talk to Kathleen if you have any questions about that.
Awesome. I saw that.
Can I make a quick point?
Sure. Yes, please.
I think the culture has changed too. I think the foundation has, I gotta be careful with words here, but just sort of normalized an expectation that the library will be looking for additional resources to distribute through our services. And I think that's really healthy, especially, at this time. We're doing a very good job at making that not surprising, but almost expected. And I think that bodes well for our future and fundraising. That's all.
Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Any questions or anything for Noah before we officially turn it over to Skip for his report? All right, thank you.
Okay, so I do have a few things to report, but I would like to just turn to my executive team to see if anybody has anything you wanted to add to the written report. Anybody?
I can always add something.
Go ahead, Kathleen. Why don't you?
I just wanted to let everyone know that between what Noah said and Skip related to naming opportunities, that those tend to start at about 25,000. So, and they just go up, and that was something that the foundation board and I think the trustees set the totals at which naming opportunities will be available at the different libraries as well. So when we work with donors, we look at all the different facilities to see where they would like to have them be. So they truly are transformational gifts, and usually not restricted to the library that you see the name in, because the goal is to always make it very unrestricted. So I also just want to say thank you for Library Giving Week. It was incredible, and I know many of you participated in that, and we look forward to next year, so thank you very much.
So just a couple of things. I passed around, I got some help from our LATI people here to do distribution, but you have my written remarks from two different public hearings before County Council. They're a little bit different. The very last page, I decided on that day to wear my Libraries Put the Free in Freedom t-shirt. And I spoke to the issue of all the censorship that has been unleashed across the United States, that we're happily not feeling too much pressure because we're a book sanctuary and because we have the Freedom to Read Act. But I would just call your attention to that. There's a lot of text to read through. Just kind of gloss over it, but go to the last part about freedom in libraries. I wanted to mention that in the budget, we received $425,000 from the state for legislative bond initiatives. $200,000 of that will go toward the Severna Park renovation. That'll be coupled with foundation money that came in for Hughes Corner and other money from the library itself, from funding we get from the county. So that bond initiative, in addition to Severna Park, funded privacy pods at all of our libraries and signage at all of our libraries. So I know Christine Feldman has been trying to get the money for signage for a number of years, so that's just really great. It's the first year we have sought funding through that state process. Don Rao from the foundation helped us figure out how to do it and how much to ask for. So just wanted to mention that that's really a good thing. Let's see. Steve, you're gonna talk about the June 6th event, right? Okay, I'll go ahead and mention that. I was at an event in DC and saw our state librarian, Morgan Miller. She had, her communications person, Tim Pratt, had just gotten off the phone with Governor Moore's, or First Lady Moore's, person in communications. And on June 6th, which is a Saturday, from 10 a.m. to noon, at the Government House, there's going to be hosted a kickoff of summer reading for the whole state. We're working with them. Morgan wanted to know if we had a sneaks outfit that we could share, so I said, oh yeah, for sure, we can do that. And we'll probably have 100 or so children and families there at the event. Probably the governor and the first lady will tell stories along with others. So that's going to be a huge event, and you may, when you get to your report, you may want to add to that. But anyway, I just thought that was amazing.
So what was the location of that?
It'll be at Government House, which is, it's not really the governor's mansion, because we don't call it that in Maryland, but that's basically what it is. Yeah. Let's see. I have conflict of interest forms for trustees who haven't yet signed it. So if you don't remember signing it, come up to me afterwards so I can get that to you. I've also got confidentiality agreements for the CEO search process. So all of you who are here need to sign that, whether you're on the search committee or a trustee. And frankly, that'll go for the new, the soon-to-be elected trustees as well. I'll put that out there for you all as well. Let's see, I think that covers it. I know we have Jan Elaine's report later, so I may have more to say at that point. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, if there are no other questions for Skip or the ELT, we can move on to the reports from the standing committees. So Tim, I'll turn it back over to you for Finance and Audit Committee, if you have any other things to announce for the.
We met in April, just to unanimously approved our IRS forms and some sole source contracts, which we saw in the consent agenda. I did want to point out one thing we had a brief discussion about, which is if you look at the sole source contracts, that includes $2 million for overdrive, which is a substantial amount. We had a discussion about the fact that, you know, as a library, and really libraries in general, are dealing with a kind of lack of pricing power with some of these vendors. Overdrive is really kind of the only game in town with ebooks and so forth. And we're also down to, I think, just 2 vendors for physical books after the bankruptcy of one of the. So we had, you know, a brief discussion about, you know, trying to figure out, you know, with Cedric and his team and staff about finding ways to, you know, collectively negotiate pricing on various things, and it's going to be an ongoing discussion with them. So I don't know if Rudy had anything to add on that point.
That's the big point right now is the negotiating power with Overdrive.
Yeah.
There are several state compacts that are out, but none of them take effect until a discrete number of states ratify them. So far, there's only three out of 5 that they all seem to be looking for. So we are looking for leadership from our legislators to step up and help us with this.
Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention, since as part of the things we signed off on was the rent at Annapolis. I wanted to ask whether our lease agreement is impacted at all by the change in ownership of the mall, or.
We hope not. The lease already has a language that carries to the next owner. We're hoping the new owner will honor that. We haven't heard anything yet.
Okay.
any questions at all for Tim? All right. Moving on to the HR and Diversity Committee. Faith?
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. First, I want to say I apologize. I'm going to have to get off a little earlier than expected. I'm pulling triple duty as I'm also at the Medical Library Conference here in Milwaukee. So I'm reporting live from my room, which is why I'm joining you on the phone today. But nonetheless, we met in April. We had two items for review and discussion, and that was the CEO job description and update. So Skip let us know that the job descriptions had been collected and they had been reviewed. I'm also on the search committee as well. So Jan Elaine will have some update about that, but the full board will be able to review the finalized job description, which is in today's agenda, prior to the search launch. And that is what we spent some time discussing in April. We also discussed a new hold policy revision. It wasn't so much a change as far as the content of the policy as much as we needed to add the line, or the line needed to be added, that staff reserve the right to remove holds without notice for abuse. That was not in there, and it wasn't made clear to the public and the patrons that staff could actually remove holds without notice for suspected abuse of this policy. And so we reviewed that and voted to approve that revision, and now it comes to the board for full review. And that is my report for HR. Demita, I did want to ask, I see this next item here, CEO. Is that my item or is that Jan Elaine's item?
We actually gave it for HR and Diversity Committee to bring it to the board for a vote.
Okay, then I will take over and I present to you all the now position description for the CEO search. This is the one that I mentioned a few minutes ago that we've done with the that Skip mentioned to us, that done the collection and the review, and now the draft here, the final version for your review and approval. Demita, do I need to make any? I don't think I need to make a motion. Do I need to?
No, because
Okay.
it's coming from a committee, you don't. And
Okay,
for those
great.
of us who are in the room, we do have it printed out in front of us, so. So it's been brought by the committee. Did anybody have any discussion items or anything to note on the job description as printed? It was emailed as well, so yeah, so we've got it a few different ways here, just trying to make sure if we had any questions. And as Faith alluded to, this will be part, obviously, of the recruitment materials that we're doing for the library CEO search. And so this is really, really critical that we have something that we feel as a board really substantially measures what the CEO is being asked to do, and does so in a way that is going to really make this an attractive position for someone. So if anybody has any discussion, we can do that now, and if not, we can move to vote on the job description as printed. Okay, so seeing no anyone wanting to discuss, so it's already been moved by Faith to go ahead and adopt this. So all those in favor of approving the job description as printed, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, let's approve unanimously. Thank you so much, Faith.
Okay, thank you all.
We appreciate you doing double duty,
Okay.
triple duty today.
I know, right? I just saw y'all 2 days ago, but thanks everybody. I'm trying to
Thank
hold
you.
up to my end of my requirements. So I
We
will see you
appreciate
all
you.
soon. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks. All right, so now moving on to governance, strategy, and organization. Oh, I see Jim. Here we go.
Been here, I just didn't want to grace everyone with my presence physically. Good afternoon, all. I want to apologize for not being there in person. We were graced with the information that my son had a chorus concert tonight, and we found that out a whopping 2 days ago. So thanks to the chorus teacher and the team at the blah blah elementary, which I won't name, for letting us know late, but I've been told I'm required to attend, so I will not miss the 11-year-old's chorus concert. So the moment you've all been waiting for, it's actually on our minutes, of course. The board recruitment is noted. we'll be, I guess, excusing our prospective board members for an official vote in a few moments. There was also a bylaws discussion, and as Skip noted earlier, that we will not be taking to the group at this point to make any changes. And there was also Barbie's favorite topic, which was AI, which I don't believe we have a specific motion related to that at this time either. But that will be something that haunts or is a part of our discussion for my remaining 2 years on the board, Skip. Gonna miss you, by the way, so you do have to come back all the time since you're somewhat local. You can't actually stay away for long. So Rudy, if there was nothing else that we were doing, I guess we'll excuse the prospective board members and have an official vote.
Sure, yeah, we can just do that if we, just momentarily, if we just do a vote here. Call you back in just a
My
moment.
apologies. We'll miss you guys.
Ready to go again?
All right, thank you. All right, so Jim has brought it before us to consider the board members as new board members as presented or voted on by the committee. Any discussion at all? We've got all their credentials in our packets here.
Yeah, all the resumes are there. Do we do that as a group or one at a time?
Oh, in terms of the vote?
Just for clarity's sake.
I think we could do it all together, as we've done with the others.
The committee certainly would have no objection.
Right. Okay, so all those in favor of electing all 4 of the new board members, including our student member, say aye.
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 Any objections? Abstentions? All right, well, our new board members have been elected, duly elected by the full board.
Unanimously, we should tell them.
Yes, unanimously elected new board members. So thank you all. We are very much looking forward to working with you all, and we know that you're going to bring a lot to this board and a lot of richness and diversity and perspective and experience. So thank you again.
Thank you, Madam Chair. All done on my end.
Have fun, Jim.
Yeah.
I do want to do the elections too, right, for the,
For the officers, yeah.
All right, Jim, if I could bring it back just one more time, just for the elections of the officers for the board. Just making sure that we're doing that. Basically, all the officers who have served this
Retaining the
past-
current team, yes, ma'am. Do you need me to do that since you're involved?
Yes, please.
Well, there we go. So if we could have a motion to retain our current leadership team as formatted.
I so move.
Thank you. A second?
A second.
Excellent. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any nays? Any abstentions?
And do
Madam
we
Chair,
need-
congratulations. You
the vote
will
doesn't
remain
count.
Madam Chair for the 12 months.
You didn't even have to leave the room.
Oh, I didn't even have to. Yeah, we have a tremendous board, and again, we have a tremendous leadership team on the board, so definitely thank you all. And so now we're going to, as amended on the agenda, turn to Jana Lane, who's going to give us a report on the CEO search committee.
The search committee met yesterday, and we are in crunch time between now and June 15th. We have to have the materials that we're going to advertise and put out for candidates. And so between the search committee and poor Christine and her people, we're crunching up on that. We discussed things yesterday, like the salary range, what would fit our budget, what would fit appropriate salaries from, who did the report on salaries, Skip?
So Coven led the effort for PRM to do that study,
Okay.
which led to market adjustments a couple of years ago.
So we had a salary ranges to work from, and we will be using those to determine what they will actually be paid when the time comes. We hope to have all the resumes and applications in by August 13, 14. Yeah. The 9th, actually. And then we're all reviewing the resumes online beforehand. And then by October 1st, we'll be inviting the top 5, probably 3. We're gonna be down to 3
It'll be 3 or
immediately.
4 to come in late October.
Okay, because we're gonna be doing some screening interviews.
Screening will be 6 or 8 or 10.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
that's where I was. And then in October, we'll have those 3 people come for 3 days, and they'll meet the foundation, the board of trustees, the executive leadership.
Good evening. If you are here for our Teen Advisory Board meeting, you can go ahead and make your way into the conference room. Thank you.
Which hopefully isn't this room.
I'll just add that these meetings have, the way it's being planned is for those 3, possibly 4 candidates to come in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, October 21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Right.
On the 21st, they will be essentially taken around to visit libraries, not all 16 libraries, but some. Each one will have probably 2 branch managers will take them around each, so the total of 6 branch managers working with 3 candidates or whatever. That'll happen on the Wednesday. Then on the Thursday, there will be meetings with staff, leadership, foundation board. And then on Friday, they'll have the interviews with the board itself.
So everybody, right now, right on your calendar, October 23rd, you must be available for the interviews that we will be doing as a board.
Yeah.
Just October 23rd,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And so we're on track. The company that we are using to help with the search, they are fantastic. They know people and they've done this a lot. They just picked, they didn't pick. They provided the candidates for the Berkeley Library in Berkeley. So they're doing this around the country and they have lots of experience and they have certainly helped us enormously. And do you have anything you need to add?
I think that covers it, yeah. It's all gonna move along and after today, I have September, November, and January board meetings and we think that February 1st, which is a Monday, will be the first day of the new CEO.
Great. Any questions at all from anyone about the process or timeline, anything? Awesome, thank you, Jana. And thank you for serving as chair.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we know if any of the candidates are from in-house within AACPO?
We won't know that until applications are, we won't know that at all until the application process has started. You know, nobody has had any opportunity to apply, and it is possible, yes.
And that actually is a great, sorry, were you gonna say something else, Laura?
No.
Okay, that's also just a great point to just reiterate the confidentiality agreement that we're all being asked to sign. So, once we start getting in applications and once we start discussing the applicants, that's not something that we can discuss outside of the board itself. So we're all gonna be sworn to confidentiality during that time that we're discussing the candidates until we get to the point where we've got the finalists who would be coming in person, obviously, to meet members of the staff and other members of our community. So that's where we, would have to kind of keep things confidential until.
Thank you.
Any other, yep, no problem. Any other questions? All right, So, sure. So yes, so just as a reiteration on that, so just immediately after we adjourn, we'll go ahead and get the confidentiality agreements around to those who are in person, so we can go ahead and get those signed. So we basically have come to the end of the agenda. I don't have any specific additional consideration items. Does anyone else have anything else that they wanted to bring to the board or questions that folks had? I'm sorry, you know what, I'm looking at the agenda and we missed something, so I do apologize, Steve. Oh, wait a minute. We didn't get that preview of the summer at your library, so I do apologize, Steve. I do want to go ahead and call you forward to do that presentation for the board.
Thank you. I have no idea how you do all of that juggling, so it's no worries at all. So I do have some prepared remarks. Forgive me for reading from a script, but I do also want to share that I was just at the Odenton Library for a training and had a last-minute printing thing, and the stapler was back. So, so we're moving on all of that.
Very relieved.
Oh, good. Regional manager's really excellent. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Steve Mangum. I am one of the community engagement specialists for the system, and my big responsibility is coordinating the annual Summer at Your Library initiative. I'm excited to share a bit about it today. Running June 1st through August 31st, this initiative envelops all aspects of library service into a season packed with fun, surprises for families and individuals of all ages. The classic summer reading tradition continues with 3 learning games designed to continue building literacy and reinforcing learning gains from the previous year for students and adults alike. So kids can play the Summer at Your Library quest and help our friend Sneaks find buried treasure on the beach by logging days and activities along the way. Our teens can choose their own adventure by earning points to win a Nintendo Switch 2 bundle. And adults have their shot at the wild card bingo. The grand prize for that is some Southwest Airline tickets. So 3 games, you can take your, based on your age group, you can take your pick. And I also just want to highlight too that staff across the system have also planned 1,863 programs and outreach visits throughout the summer, featuring magicians, musicians, clowns, archaeologists, and of course our fabulous library workers. Last year, 71,517 people connected with the library through programs and outreach, and just over 5,600 people participated in one of the 3 learning games. This project is a chance for the library to have fun and solidify relationships with our regular users, as well as build relationships with those who may not be able to use us regularly. So over the years, we've partnered with organizations like the Anne Arundel County Public Schools, the Department of Recreation and Parks, as well as Kindness Grows Here, a local nonprofit, and other agencies to build that reach. So how do we do it? It's a full team effort across the entire organization, headed up by a summer planning committee, which is made up of branch staff who give input in their communities and invite feedback as part of the design. We also have a spirited volunteer corps that help during the season. Teenagers ages 14 to 18 can volunteer for the library. It's also part of our pipeline. There are some branch managers that were volunteers. They would never tell you that, as well as trustees, I believe. So thank you for your service with that. This summer was planned and funded with about $116,000 from a combination of both county funds as well as donor dollars. Every year as part of the operating budget, Anne Arundel County gives the library $56,000 in contractual services for educational programming paid presenters, which has been utilized for the events listed on the center spread of happenings. The remaining $60,000 is made possible by the generous contributions of library donors to the library and is used for the prize incentives, the printouts, the marketing materials. We truly couldn't be doing what we do without the foundation and their fundraising efforts, so shout out Kathleen and her team. I've been on this project now for 5 years, and so I'd like to leave you with just a couple of my favorite testimonials of how customers are impacted by the summer initiative and library service as a whole. Down the street at the Odenton Library, a group of adults learned that they were all doing the bingo challenge together and now have a book club that meets regularly where they play together. One parent thanked a staff member because she's started using learning games to create a healthier bedtime routine with her child, gives them something to do at bedtime besides playing on a tablet. Now they read books and mark their days off on their games. And in 2022, I received word that there was a branch where a family that was displaced from Ukraine after the Russian invasion thanked staff. And they stated that they turned to the library and Summer at Your Library as a, quote, bright spot in a terrifying time. So with that, I hope you'll come and play with us this summer and enjoy the program. Does anybody have any questions about anything?
You need to tell all the adults that we don't get to win that.
Oh, the board members. I'll let the leadership.
Were you saying something, Laura?
Yes, I would just.
Oh, you dropped off for a bit. Oh.
Can you hear me?
No, a little bit better now.
I would just like to say that the programming is excellent. I went to the Crofton Poetry event that was funded by the Library Foundation. I've been to and I've also been with my mom to Riviera Beach where they re-imaged art. So the programming is stellar, and I want to thank all the library staff and the foundation for putting together programs I can take my 85-year-old mom to.
I love that.
Thank you, Ms. Ellis. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd also like to thank everything you do. Summer at the library, all those reading tasks, those were one of my favorite memories growing up. I did a lot of them at the Crofton Library. I think somewhat elementary school to middle school until I got too busy with high school. But yeah, I would like to just thank you.
Thank you very much.
I just wanted to make a comment to Jim Elaine's comment. If you do the wild card bingo, you can win the Southwest Airlines ticket. So everyone in this room should be doing the wild card bingo. That's the adult. Yeah, that's the adult.
It won't look good if we win.
So I just have a little funny bit, I'll just take a second. So I get all the tell us what you think forms that customers put in, and mostly they're good, sometimes they're bad, I get maybe one or two a day. Well, last summer I noticed I was getting so many, and they were all so good. I was like, wow, everybody just really loves us all of a sudden. Like, this must be just, we're just really knocking it out of the park. And I brought that up at a staff meeting that I was attending, and they said, Kathy, you do know that one of the things on the bingo is you put in a nice comment. So I'm sure those are still sincere, but that explains why I got so many.
Make us not scared to lose.
Is it?
Perfect.
Well, thank you for the time, and I'm happy to answer any questions at any point.
Yeah, and as Steve mentioned, the information is here in library happenings, which Christina and her team put together. And so we have them here for those who are in person. And so that actually ended up being a great way to end this meeting, I think. That was perfect. So if anyone has any other questions, comments? All right. So I will say that this meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
And I'll bring around the confidentiality